Hey everyone, welcome to Norwood Handmade. So in today's video, I'm going to stick with my fall theme, but instead of the leaves and the pumpkins that I've been doing, I'm going to lean more towards the apples, and I'm going to throw some leaves for the fall color in there. So what I'm going to do is I have a little tier tray that I like to decorate for the seasons. I'm going to remove my spring stuff out and I'm going to put my fall stuff in. So right now I have a picture frame that's sitting on there that is spring, and I'm going to replace it with this, which is more of a harvest blessing. So this right here, it was a canvas that actually was my mom's, and she had already ripped everything off, so I pulled out all the staples. So we are going to use this, and we are actually going to use a yardstick from Lowe's that I got. I was able to cut it into each yardstick into 3 sections, and I needed 3. So I did do that off camera, so we didn't take too long. But I'm going to show you what I did. So we're going to use the yardsticks as a backing for this canvas. And instead of getting out the saw, doing all that, I just scored where you wanted to break it, because that's pretty much what I did. Is I took I took a razor blade, and just be careful when you do it. And I cut them all in 12-inch marks. And I just ran it down a couple times. And what I did was I literally just snapped it in half. And where you scored it, it come apart. After I did that, I just took a little piece of sandpaper, sanded off that hard part, and that is how I got all of my pieces of yardstick. And you can actually go to the Dollar Tree and just get rulers for $1. However, this yardstick at Lowe's, I think I paid $1 for 1, and I was able to get 3 out of it. So for me, it was cheaper. So what I'm going to do now is I want to paint all of my yardsticks, all of my frame. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to line these against the back, because when we turn it over, it is going to be the backing to our picture that we are going to place our harvest blessing in, and then we will decorate it. So what I am using is just plain white chalk paint. I'm going to go ahead and paint all of these, which I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I need 7. I may need 8. I'm lying. So I'm going to paint 8 of these cut up yardsticks, and I'm going to paint my picture frame white. All right, so we have painted our frame that had a canvas on it white, and I painted all of the pieces of yardstick that we cut. So I want to do it on the back. Each piece took me about 2 coats of white chalk paint, and so I was going to staple this, but I'm assuming not everybody has just a staple gun laying around. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use some Gorilla wood glue and some hot glue just to secure them on. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a small dab, and this is just going to be more of my permanent hold. And I'm going to take just a little bit, and then this is going to be my temporary hold, some hot glue. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm just going to make sure it's lined up the way I want it to line up, and just hold it there for a second. Let that hot glue dry. So we have now placed all of the pieces on the frame. And so what we are going to do is I'm going to take this Harvest Blessings, and it's just a printout of a Harvest Blessings that I printed from my computer. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to Mod Podge that onto the center. So I'm just going to take my Mod Podge. I'm going to add a layer of Mod Podge on it. I will place this on top, and then after that, what we are going to do is I'm going to come in and I'm going to take my Distressed Oxide, and I'm just going to come around the edges, just make it look a little bit more rustic. I'm probably also going to bring it around the edges of the frame as well. All right, so I finished taking the Distressed Oxide and putting it like on the words and on the images. I used Rusty Hinge. I did get into my box and I got some ground espresso to make it a little bit darker. So what I'm going to do now is I want to seal this piece of paper in. So I'm just going to take some more, and I'm just going to run just a thin coat over it. But just make sure when you do it, you're careful, because sometimes the ink in the paper will start smearing. So what I like to do is I like to dab it real quick, and then I just run over it once so it doesn't smear those colors. All right, so now that I have that on there, we're gonna let that dry. And as we let it dry, I am going to go ahead and add some leaves. I am going to place 3 little leaves over here in the corner. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pot glue them onto the side. Alright, so once we have that on there, I am going to take this glitter acrylic that I got from Hobby Lobby, and I want to add it. I'm going to start at the top, and it's going to be thicker, and then I'm going to try to kind of trail it down, not over the image, just over the side. So I'm going to take a whole bunch. And just tap it into place, and I'm going to kind of just trail it down a little bit like it's falling, just to give it a more glittery effect. And I was going to add a bow to it, but I think we're going to leave it as is. I think I like it the way it is. It was super easy. It was quick. It was just stuff that you can get a canvas at the Dollar Tree. You can get wood rulers at the Dollar Tree, and these little leaves come from the Dollar Tree, and I just printed my sign. It makes for a cute harvest little sign that you could set up in your house. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate everybody who watches my videos. If you enjoyed this video, could you like it and comment so we can interact? Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you can see what we create every week. I appreciate everybody, and I hope everybody has a good day. Bye.